Welcome to River Under the Bridge podcast episode 8 with Preston Olson and Joey Irwin.
And like us on the Facebook page at River Street Marketing.
.com.
Joe, how you feeling tonight?
You know, Preston, tonight I'm feeling really, really good.
We want to get into something right off the bat in our first segment. We titled The Blend.
The blend.
The Blackhawks looked good, but not great against a formidable opponent in the Nashville Predators. Tough game for the Blackhawks, Joe.
Yeah. First game of the playoffs. Game 1 in this game 7 series, 7-game series. Now, Preston, was it me or did the Blackhawks kind of defense was it nervous? Was it not ready? What was it?
Well, I think, off the bat, it was the first game jitters, as I like to say.
Yeah.
And the Blackhawks were in it, but not particularly, I would say, in it all the way. I think they looked a little bit nervous. Nashville's not necessarily a big team. I don't know
Yeah.
if you could tell the difference.
In height?
Yeah, in height, and then you could just tell in overall size.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I think the Blackhawks were a more physical team, but I think that the first game jitters got to them. Nashville, I thought would probably upset them. I would have been disappointed to go to that game and watch the Blackhawks lose. But I think overall, the game tomorrow night, the Blackhawks will do a great job.
Another thing I just wanted to touch on and just kind of get your opinion. Now, would you say it's first game jitters once again, or was Peke Rene on par, and is he something the Blackhawks have to kind of set, put on the bulletin board? We need to get past this goalie in order to win this series.
I think he was on fire. I
Yeah,
think that he was an impenetrable force,
yeah,
and the whole entire game, he was just you couldn't get through to the net. So kudos to him, hats off. But the Blackhawks are going to keep testing him, and they have serious hitters.
yeah.
Some serious hitters. So I predict them to win game two. Joe, how do you feel about your Toronto Maple Leafs losing in the capital to the Capitals?
It was actually a tough one. You and
Hmm.
me were watching. We were flicking back and forth from the Chicago game to the Leaf game. Both game ones in the 7-game series. Now, Leafs kind of came out gunning. They had the first two goals. It was a 2-0 lead.
Hmm.
Um, the Caps came back. The game went to overtime, and the Washington Capitals ended up winning it. But you know what? Uh, I'm still kind of proud that the Leafs came out gunning like that. They treated it like a normal game, and I like that.
They also play tomorrow. I think they did, to your point, play great. I think in overall fairness, the Capitals are a great team. Alex Ovechkin is my favorite player.
Okay.
So the Capitals are a great team, but as you know, the Maple Leafs, they've put together a lot of good wins and a lot of good strings of wins this season. So I think overall they have the team that they want in this matchup.
And another thing I just wanted to mention, the Leafs finished dead last in the entire league last year.
Wow.
Dead last in
Wow.
the entire league last year. They finished 30th, um, and now this year they're in the playoffs. So that's already a huge feat.
That's a huge deal too. When you're last in the league and out of all the teams, when you're representing such a big city in Metropolis and Toronto, I
Yeah.
mean, let's come to represent. Joe, how do you feel about Toronto and their chances tomorrow night?
It's going to be a tough one. Um, Is it the first two are at home in Washington, correct?
That's correct.
So I don't know. A lot of people are predicting that Washington's going to win both at home to get going. Washington does have a good squad. They do have the superstar Alex Ovechkin. Um,
Correct. Absolutely. They look good out there.
I can only hope. I can only hope. Can only hope, Preston.
They have the team they want. I think the Maple Leafs can get over it if they can win at home.
Right.
Feelings tomorrow night, maybe a little bit shaky still because Washington's at home.
Agreed.
I am so happy for my Bulls, just like I know you're happy for your Raptors. I did the article about the Chicago Bulls going to make the the playoffs, the postseason, and they made it.
Yes.
Right in their face, right to the media's face. And Joe,
Yep.
the Raptors, tough team, but right now it's about the Bulls playing against the number one seeded Boston Celtics.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, Rondo's playing against his former team. That's a huge storyline in this game. Let's not overlook that.
I mean, Ron. You know, reporters are asking Rondo, how does he feel against going to his former team? You know, they've already asked him, and he's focusing on winning. He's focusing on winning. He says, "I play with the Bulls now. I'm focusing on winning."
Yes, he
He
wants to
doesn't care
win.
about that stuff. He plays ball.
Correct. Absolutely. I mean, Joe, you're 100% right. You couldn't say it any better. Uh, Jimmy Buckets Butler is going to
Yeah.
put on a show, and I got to give credit to the Bulls. I think they're going to come out strong in this game one, and they're going to win.
You know, I really hope so. They are looking at a big hill throughout this entire playoff series. Um, but
Huge climb.
if they can overcome this climb and kind of get on that peak of Mount Everest, it'll be a huge story. And I
Hmm.
think it would be even a bigger story that one of our own predicted this would happen.
Right, exactly. River Street Marketing official. We were all over this, just like we're all over sports in general, and we love all sports. And yes, wrestling is a sport. Uh,
Agreed. Oh yeah, absolutely.
mhm. But I would also say that uh, for the Boston Celtics' sake, Isaiah Thomas, the Bulls are going to have to be careful because he can put on a clinic.
To say the least, you know. To
He can
say the
put on
least.
a clinic. I mean, the dude can get out there, and he can do it all. Uh, I don't know how you feel about it, but I think definitely the Bulls are going to take game one, and then from there it's going to be up to them to decide their path.
Uh-huh.
You know, the Celtics have that number one seed for a reason, so I'm hoping that they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But because it's silly not to, but I'm going to root for my Bulls, obviously.
Yeah. Of course.
Now, the next thing that me and you were talking about before the show
Uh-huh.
was Vin Diesel and The Rock. Correct. We're talking about Vin
Correct.
Diesel and The Rock, and we're
Yeah.
talking about
We
who's
talked
going to
about
be
those movies.
better in Fast and the Furious, right? Who's going to be better
Yeah.
in Fast and the Furious?
Furious 8.
It's a
Fate of
tough
the
call.
Furious or something, whatever they call this one.
There's a little drama going on the set, I hear.
Correct. Um, basically, uh, Vin wants to do another Fast even after this one.
Mhm.
He wants to do a
Interesting.
9. He wants to do 9.
9
Um,
of them.
I'm not too sure if
Ooh.
everybody agreed with that, and they were a little concerned with how maybe Vin Diesel his work ethics or his philosophies.
And The Rock has a lot of projects
Yeah,
going on
exactly.
already. He has a lot of projects going on.
But you know what? At the end of the day, we, you know, we only heard what the media told us, right?
That's it.
We don't know what Vin and The Rock said, and then even after they had the little argument or feud or whatever they had for a day or so, they both went on, they both went on and said, that's still my brother. I'm not, we're not worried about nothing, and if he wants to run Fast 9, then The Rock's gonna be there. So,
Yes. That's what I like to hear. That's well
and
put
that's what they
together.
said.
That's good. That's a good storyline too. I mean,
That's
this makes me
sportsmanship. You
that is
say?
that is good actorsmanship,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Now, Joe, here's the thing. I just want you to know something that we're now getting into the second part of the show. This is our second segment. A
Yep.
great segment indeed, the face off. Boxed wine is better than bottled wine.
Or should we say boxed wine versus bottled wine? Because you already said your opinion right there just by titling it. The listeners already know you liked boxed wine.
Well, they should know. That's the point. And see, Joe, to your point, wine can be rather expensive.
Hmm.
Um, but there are many ways to cut down on cost. So I want to let you know that box wine, you can get so much quantity with it, right? You get
Yeah.
more for less than a very good bottle. Nothing wrong with bottled wine. I like bottled wine. If I say I like box wine and I title it box wine is better than bottled wine, it's simply because that that's my opinion. Now you didn't come back and say bottled wine is better than box wine. You should have, but you didn't. So that's why with this segment it just goes to show my point that you're getting more for less, which is a concept that's hard to understand, and you're getting a great taste because boxed wine tastes no different than bottled wine. It's actually in some cases better depending on what type of boxed wine you get because some boxes can be very expensive. So it's simply preference. But I'd rather get more for less.
Now, here's the thing. When you're talking about the more expensive boxed wines, now we're not seeing a difference in price. Okay? But if you're talking about where, yeah, you are getting way more than in the bottle, of course. It's a big juice box. You're walking around with a big ass Minute Maid under your shoulder, heading to the Green Bay game. Probably rolled up a joint. Um,
This is
but
all sounded good.
but the lower when you get the more quantity with that big box wine, your quality goes way down. Now, I'm just gonna quickly go into before we just back and forth. The viewers don't want to hear us go back and forth.
Well they do, but you're
They
right.
do,
It's
but
time to wrap it up. It's time to wrap it up.
let me just get into a few pros and cons of both bottled wine and box wine. And we're just going to leave these pros and cons with the viewers. We're not going to really comment on them.
Nope,
Let's
I agree. I agree.
So, we'll start off with bottled wine. A few pros. Wine in a bottle can age. With age is obviously quality and better taste, and it's just worth more. Uh, another number two, there's a lot more choices with bottled wine. There just is. Uh, and then another one is you're more likely to try something new. You're more likely to try something new because you finish the bottle in a night, so you're more likely to try different bottles and different types of wine. So now we go into the cons of the bottled wine. Once it's open, the clock is ticking. It can be a nightmare to transport. That's obvious. It's glass. And the cork can affect the wine. sometimes the cork can be kind of tainted or screwed up, and it could really spoil your wine.
Oh, okay.
So now we'll move into boxed wines. Once you actually open that boxed wine,
Sounds tasty.
yeah, it can last for 4 to 6 weeks. So that is a crazy improvement from 4 to 6 weeks to, on the other hand, the clock's ticking,
Yeah.
quote unquote, the clock's ticking.
Mm-hmm.
Another pro is you get more money, or sorry, you get more wine for your money, and it can be stored and transported very easily. It's no bigger than an Xbox or something.
Yes.
And then a few cons: it can't age. It cannot be aged. The selection isn't that great, and
Comes in a bag like the pop. At
right,
the
okay,
dispenser, whenever you get it at the machine.
okay. Uh, and just another thing is, sometimes you could use anything, I guess, but the box wines aren't necessarily compatible with most wine coolers, right? Most
Yep.
wine
That's
coolers
true.
have the wine rack style.
That's
But
yeah, right.
there's new ones that obviously you can get that has the wine rack style, and then probably at the bottom has a slot for a box or two.
So that goes back to preference. But I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. That's good. So Joe, I know you have the best app feature of the week.
That's that feature of the week. We're talking tech on today's show. Well, Skype, Preston, do we not use it a lot?
Oh, Skype is great.
We
It's a
use it
great
a lot.
program.
Yeah.
When Skype was created, this was a great thing, and everybody knew it off the rip.
Yeah. Well, Skype has been revamped for the Xbox One. Okay, I guess they completely updated it. Brand
Mhm.
new interface. It features an auto zoom mode. You can simultaneously call up to 25 users, video call 5 users, and that's all for free.
Yes, that's good. That's a
Yeah,
good thing.
that's
And
pretty good.
it needed an update. It needed to be refurbished. It looked very bland, and this really helps. I went in and checked it out, pulled it up on my Xbox One, and I said, "This is awesome." Uh, it's definitely a lot cleaner
Yeah,
than before,
yeah,
especially with the auto zoom mode.
yeah.
And I think that's a
It's
big
cool.
part of it, the auto zoom mode. I mean, you want that.
Yeah,
And just a new interface in itself is a great thing. And I'm really glad that you brought this to my attention, and then I was able to go and look in this and totally see it in the Xbox One.
hmm. And the interface. How's the interface?
Smooth. It's not as slow.
Okay.
It's not everything runs on a little bit of delay. Any type of broadcasting software you use, it's gonna run it when you like get off of it and get on it, or when you try to get back to the menu or something like that. It's going to slow it down, and you might not notice it, but it actually is. So it's not as bad that far. So it's not taking up as much bandwidth.
Okay. And yeah, well, they say they went out for a quote unquote more dark interface. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they say they're going for a dark, quote unquote, dark interface. I'm guessing that's just some simplicity, but mature, but
There you go. There you go.
is what I'm
Yep.
kind of getting from that.
I like that. Yep. That's a good way to word it.
Well, that is the best app feature of the week.
The best app feature of the week. Thanks, Joe. Strange or weird things on the web is our next segment, folks.
Uh-uh-uh.
New study finally explains why your shoelaces come untied.
Really? Now,
No
how does that
joke.
work?
Now, really, this works
All right, Muscle, let's get
because
somebody else to try.
when it comes down to it, your shoelaces can come untied for a lot of different reasons. But basically, what these few articles that have popped up now, uh, the main one I've seen on the Huffington Post that was breaking it down and just saying that they're made to. The material is made to deteriorate. It's not made to last a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that it's not necessarily people being too lazy to tie their shoe, that genuinely when their shoe comes untied, it's because it's excuse my language, but rubbing itself out.
Yeah, no, I think that is in most cases. I think you nailed it for most cases, but the other reason is the material.
Right. Now that could that also be a marketing strategy? So a kid has to get a new pair of shoes every 6 months.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. Okay, I get it now. I get it now. I'm on the same page as those guys.
Bingo. We got it down now. Joe, I want you to do something. Can you do something for me?
I can do something for you. Depends what it is.
Can you just do the 5 camera hacks in under 2 minutes?
I thought you wanted me to tie your shoes.
Well, you can't because guess what? They're Velcro.
Oh, well, you can't tie mine. They're Crocs.
Oh well. Oh okay.
Okay, folks, my 5 do-it-yourself hacks this week, camera hacks. Now, before I get into Preston, I'm just going to say not everyone's going to want to try these. A lot of people might say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put that on my camera. I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to put that on my lens, etc., etc.
They don't
Without,
have to.
yeah,
They
you don't
don't
have
have to. Yeah, don't. Don't do
skip
it.
2 minutes. Skip 2 minutes in this
We
segment.
hope you do, but if you don't, then don't.
Okay, 5 do-it-yourself camera hacks. Number 1. Use a coffee sleeve as a lens hood. Number 2, use a River Street Marketing business card to bounce the flash. Bounce it into a different direction, to the roof, to the side. It makes your photo look cool. Number 3, rub Vaseline around the rim of your lens to create a tunnel vision or a dreaming effect. Number 4, know where the light is coming from. If you're shooting outdoors, if you're shooting inside, get a good position under the light. In front of it, behind it, under it. Know where the lighting's coming from. And number 5, create your own white backdrop using a bed sheet or anything of that sort, all the way down to a piece of paper. Preston, that is it.
You nailed it, bro. Good job.
Thank you.
Way under 2 minutes. Couldn't give you the exact time, but way under 2 minutes. Look, I know what we're going to move into now. The best part of the show. My favorite part of the show. The best segment of this show. This is it. This is the best segment of the show. This isn't the end, but this is almost the end.
Diamond in the rough.
Pretty much. The junk file of the week, folks, is employers drug testing people for non-transportation jobs. Total junk file.
Boom. Put a boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Drop,
Boom.
drop
Throw
the
it away.
missile.
It's gone. Boo! Throw it away. It's gone.
Airstrike. Boom.
Boo! Throw it away. It's gone. We had
Now,
to junk file this.
a lot of these employers, more and more employers every day, every week, are kind of switching over to this mandatory urine sample.
Yeah, it just feels such like a strategy. Like they're just out to get you.
And it's the worst part because a lot
And
of
I know that's not the case, but I know that it's exactly the vibe that they're giving off.
yeah, and so many people, are getting booked on just the weed, right? They're clean, but it gets to the weed, and it's like, yeah, I smoked a little bit a few weeks ago. I was kind of stressed, so I smoked a little bit, but I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Oh well,
we found weed on in your sample, so that's it. You can't have your job. Sorry.
Nope, can't have the job. Um, and then if you fail, let's say you failed drug test,
Yeah.
there's a drop sheet that went to a lab. There's a record of that. So you go on a drop sheet, and an employer looking through the federal background could
Yeah.
look at that up to 7 years.
Wow.
In some cases, it just depends on who you are. But Joe, I know the junk file this week had to be this. Is there anything else you want to add to it?
Just people, if you have one of those coming up soon, or if you know somebody or have some family who have a job interview and they need to go through this, just do a little bit of research on the internet. There could be ways around it or ways to help out and kind of ease the system.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. That was well put. The hidden gem of the week, folks, is our next segment. Joe, would you like to introduce the hidden gem of the week?
Now, this is a different one because we don't usually do individuals, correct?
Correct.
So this is our first individual
Celebrity.
celebrity. Been around for a long time since MTV's kind of early days, in my opinion.
My opinion, too. Helped
Uh,
helped MTV out a lot.
yeah,
A lot.
especially when all these artists and things like that. Pulp culture was saying that MTV's killing music and music videos are killing radio and
Yes.
et cetera, all the way down to the line.
Andy Milonakis. I don't really, do celebrities in the hidden gem. But
Right.
this week is a big deal because Andy Milonakis has gone under the radar for so long, and I think there's just too much talent and potential there. So, Joe, hidden gem of the week, Andy Milonakis.
Andy Milonakis. So went from MTV skit maker to just kind of an internet guy. Everything from making songs with Lil B to songs with I think a friend Jody High Roller.
Jody High Roller.
I
You
think he
already
you
know him.
might have songs with him as well.
He has some actually great songs, Joe.
Oh yeah, no, Three Amigos.
Yeah, Three
So yeah,
Amigos.
they had like a full thing going on. Uh, Everything from live Twitch things. I don't know. Andy Milonakis, he kind of does it all. And the weird thing about him is, I'm not sure if it's a disease or what do you want to call it, but he's actually got a really young face to him and a really young looking face. His hair, his eyes, his everything.
Yeah, and
He's an
there's
older
so
man.
much talent there. Yeah, and he's
He's
so
actually an older man.
funny. He can do music. He's outside of the box when he thinks. He's just everything in a talented person you want. And it's just I don't think he's ever gotten enough shine. Fits perfectly in the category of a hidden gem. Joe, I'm gonna wrap the show up and say that the final thought of the week is very important.
Yeah, it
The
always is.
the final thought of the week is that Easter's on Sunday.
So happy
Spend
Easter.
some Happy Easter to everybody. Happy Easter weekend. Spend some time with your family. And guess what? Drink a lot of wine.
Yeah.
Especially for you that have to be with your in laws. Drink a lot of wine and have fun. Joe, is there anything else you want to add besides riverstreetmarketing.com, facebook.com/riverstreetmarketing, and Joe's YouTube page, Joe Perry?
Uh,
Anything else?
Pretty sure you hit everything right on point. Just thank you for anybody who made it this far with us. If you've listened to any of our podcasts, if you've watched any of our videos, we thank you very much. One thing you did forget, sir.
Please,
Tune into Preston's rants a few days a week. He throws a rant on there, usually very educational and very exciting. Thanks,
Joe,
guys. We
thank you.
love you.
Buddy,
Yeah.
also, every Saturday I will have a video show on YouTube. Check it out.
Check it out, folks. Don't miss out.
Have a good night.